Alright fellas, let's be real. Texting is the new dating battlefield. You can have all the charm and moves in the world, but if your texting game is weak, you're going down faster than my chances of winning an Oscar for dramatic acting. Ever sent a text so bad it made your phone self-destruct? We've all been there. I've seen some epic texting fails in my time, trust me. One time, my buddy sent a girl a novel. Seriously, this thing was longer than War and Peace. Needless to say, he's still single. Look, texting is an art form, a delicate dance of wit, charm, and just the right amount of emojis. You gotta be smooth, you gotta be funny, and you gotta keep her interested. Think of it like a stand-up routine. You gotta keep the jokes coming and the audience engaged, or they'll walk out on you. And let's be honest, texting can be a minefield. One wrong move and boom, you're blocked, deleted, and relegated to the friend zone. But fear not, my texting challenge comrades. I'm here to help you navigate this digital dating jungle. Consider this your crash course in texting, where I will break down the most common texting mistakes men make. We'll laugh, we'll learn, and by the end of this you'll be texting like a pro, ready to woo any woman with your digital charm. Let's start with the basics, fellas. Nobody likes a textaholic. Seriously, bombarding her with messages every 5 seconds is not cute, it's creepy. Remember that girl in high school who passed you a note every 2 minutes? Yeah, don't be that guy. Think of texting like a good meal. You don't want to stuff yourself silly, you want to savor each bite. Give her some space to breathe, to miss you, to wonder what hilarious anecdote you're going to share next. Trust me, playing it cool is way more attractive than coming across as desperate. Remember, you're a catch, a prize, a man of mystery. Don't cheapen yourself by acting like you have nothing better to do than stare at your phone, waiting for her reply. Go for a run, hit the gym, write a screenplay, do things that make you interesting and desirable. The less you text, the more she'll want to hear from you. It's all about balance, my friends. You want to stay on her radar without becoming a nuisance. Think of it like a stand-up set. You gotta know when to pause for effect, when to let the jokes sink in. Too much, too soon, and you'll lose the audience. The same goes for texting. A well-timed message is worth 1,000 spammy ones. So take a deep breath, put down the phone, and go live your life. She'll appreciate the chase, and you'll come across as confident and self-assured. Now let's talk about emojis. They're like salt. A little can enhance the flavor, but too much can ruin the whole dish. A well-placed emoji can add some personality and humor to your texts, but don't go overboard. You're not a teenager, you're a grown man. Nobody wants to decipher a message that looks like it was written by a 5-year-old on a sugar rush. Keep it classy, keep it simple, and remember, less is more. I'm not saying you should avoid emojis altogether, but use them sparingly. A smiley face here, a wink there, that's all you need. You want your words to do the talking, not a bunch of cartoon faces. Think of it like a well-dressed man. He doesn't need to wear every piece of jewelry he owns to make a statement. A simple watch, a subtle ring, that's all it takes to show you've got style. The same goes for emojis. Use them to accentuate your message, not to replace it. A well-placed emoji can add a touch of humor or flirtation, but too many can make you look immature and unprofessional. Remember, you're trying to impress her with your wit and charm, not your emoji vocabulary. So ditch the emoji overload, and let your words speak for themselves. If you like the content so far, hit the subscribe button. Alright fellas, let's talk about grammar. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a grammar Nazi, but for crying out loud, at least make an effort. Texting is not an excuse to throw all rules of language out the window. You don't need to write like Shakespeare, but you should at least be able to string together a coherent sentence. Remember, you're trying to impress her, not make her think you failed English class. Look, I get it, texting is casual, but that doesn't mean you can just abandon all sense of grammar and punctuation. A few typos here and there are forgivable, but if your messages are riddled with errors, it's going to make you look careless and uneducated. Think of it like your appearance. You wouldn't show up to a date in sweatpants and a stained t-shirt, would you? You want to present yourself in the best possible light, and that includes using proper grammar. Now, I'm not saying you need to start quoting Shakespeare in your texts, but a little effort goes a long way. Capitalize your sentences, use proper punctuation, and for the love of all that is holy, spell check. It takes 2 seconds, and it can make a world of difference. Remember, you're trying to show her that you're a smart, capable guy, and that includes being able to communicate effectively. Timing, my friends, is everything. It's like comedy. You gotta know when to deliver the punchline, when to pause for effect, when to leave the audience wanting more. The same goes for texting. You don't want to bombard her with messages, but you also don't want to leave her hanging for days. It's a delicate balance, but once you master it, you'll be texting like a pro. Think of it like a dance. You gotta know when to lead, when to follow, when to take a step back. You don't want to be stepping on her toes, but you also don't want to leave her standing alone on the dance floor. It's all about finding that rhythm, that connection, that perfect flow. And just like in dancing, practice makes perfect. The key is to be responsive without being overbearing. If she texts you, text her back within a reasonable amount of time. But don't feel like you need to reply instantly every single time. A little bit of mystery goes a long way. Let her wonder what you're up to. Let her anticipate your next message. It's all part of the game, my friends, and the more you play it right, the more she'll be drawn to you. We've all been there, fellas. You send a text, you wait some more, and crickets. The silence is deafening, the anxiety is crippling, and your finger starts hovering over the send button again. Resist the urge, my friends. The double text is a dangerous game, one that rarely leads to victory. It's like trying to explain a joke. The more you do it, the less funny it becomes. Look, I get it. You're excited, you're interested, you want to keep the conversation going. But trust me, nothing kills the mood faster than a desperate double text. It reeks of insecurity, neediness, and a complete lack of chill. Think of it like a stand-up comedian bombing on stage. The more they try to recover, the worse it gets. Sometimes, you just gotta accept the silence and move on. The double text is a slippery slope, my friends. Once you start, it's hard to stop. You send one, then another, and before you know it, you're that guy. The one who can't take a hint, the one who's blowing up her phone, the one who's making her wish she'd never given you her number in the first place. So take a deep breath, put down the phone, and walk away. Your dignity will thank you for it. Before we get into the next one, please hit that like button. Alright fellas, let's talk about ghosting. This is the ultimate texting sin, the one that will get you banished to the dating underworld faster than you can say sorry, I was busy. Look, I get it, sometimes you lose interest, sometimes things fizzle out, sometimes you just want to disappear into the digital ether. But for crying out loud, at least have the decency to say something. Ghosting is not only rude, it's cowardly. Think of it like this, you're on a date, everything's going great, you're laughing, you're connecting, and then suddenly she gets up and walks out without a word. How would that make you feel? Confused? Hurt? Angry? Yeah, that's how it feels to be ghosted. It's like getting punched in the gut by a phantom. You don't see it coming and it leaves you feeling empty and bewildered. Ghosting is the easy way out, the coward's way of ending things. It's a way of avoiding confrontation, of shirking responsibility, of pretending that the other person doesn't matter. But guess what? They do matter. Their feelings matter. Their time matters. So man up, grow a pair, and send a damn text. It doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be something. A simple, hey, it's been fun, but I'm not feeling it anymore is better than radio silence. Let's be real, fellas. Trying to be someone you're not is exhausting. It's like trying to maintain a fake laugh for an entire comedy show. Eventually your face is gonna cramp up and everyone's gonna know you're faking it. The same goes for texting. You can't keep up a facade forever. Eventually, your true self is gonna come out, and if it's drastically different from the persona you've been projecting, you're gonna have some explaining to do. Look, I get it. You want to impress her, you want to seem cool, you want to come across as the kind of guy she'd be into. But trust me, the best way to do that is to be yourself. Embrace your quirks, your sense of humor, your unique perspective on the world. That's what makes you interesting, that's what makes you stand out from the crowd. Trying to be someone you're not is not only exhausting, it's also transparent. Women can spot a fake a mile away, and they're not going to be impressed. Think of it like a stand-up routine. The best comedians are the ones who are authentic, who are true to themselves, who aren't afraid to be vulnerable and share their unique perspective on the world. The same goes for texting. The more genuine you are, the more relatable you'll be, and the more likely she is to connect with you on a deeper level. So ditch the fake persona, embrace your true self, and let your personality shine through in your texts. Confidence, my friends, is key. It's like the punchline of a joke. Deliver it with conviction and you'll have the audience roaring with laughter. Mumble it, second-guess yourself, and you'll lose them faster than a politician in a lie detector test. The same goes for texting. You gotta own it. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta project that swagger that makes women weak in the knees. Text like you own the damn phone, like you're the king of the digital domain, like you're the only man on her contact list. Look, I get it. Texting can be nerve-wracking. You're putting yourself out there, you're opening yourself up to rejection, you're basically bearing your soul through a series of digital characters. But you gotta push past the fear, you gotta embrace the challenge, you gotta text like you've got nothing to lose. The more confident you are, the more attractive you'll be, and the more likely she is to respond positively. Think of it like this. You're on stage, the spotlight is on you, the audience is waiting with bated breath. You've got two choices. You can crumble under the pressure, or you can rise to the occasion and deliver a performance that will leave them wanting more. The same goes for texting. You can play it safe, you can second-guess yourself, you can let your insecurities get the best of you, or you can step up, own your worth, and text like you're the prize she's been waiting for. So there you have it, fellas, the ultimate guide to texting like a pro, delivered with my signature blend of humor, cockiness, and straight-up advice. Remember, texting is an art form, a delicate dance of wit, charm, and timing. It's about being yourself, being confident, and being respectful. It's about knowing when to push, when to pull back, and when to just let things flow. It's about avoiding the common pitfalls, the texting sins that can send you straight to the friend zone or worse, the blocked list. So go forth, my texting warriors, and conquer the digital dating battlefield. Use these tips, learn from your mistakes, and most importantly, have fun. Texting should be enjoyable, a way to connect with someone, a way to flirt, a way to build anticipation. It's not a chore, it's an opportunity. An opportunity to showcase your personality, your sense of humor, your ability to make a woman laugh, smile, and want to get to know you better. So what are you waiting for? Put down this essay, pick up your phone, and start texting like you mean it. The world of digital dating awaits, and with my guidance, you're going to be a texting champion in no time. Now go get him, Tiger, or watch this next video.